What's really cool and what I'm really excited about is just life. That I get to live this life. Hey, I'm Jace.
Hey, I'm Will. Here we are in the studio again, and we're talking about excitement. Why are you excited?
Excitement. Man, you know, how can you not be excited? I mean, you do have an option to be excited or not excited, and I'm just choosing to be excited about everything, excited about life, excited about where, the next adventure and opportunity and person will take me into.
Great. Well, when you said let's talk about being excited, I'm thinking jumping up and down like when the kids at a parade or something. Mm-hmm. What do you define as excited?
Man, excited to me is, I'm gonna have to bring you back a few years.
Okay.
So, for the majority of my life, I was a paranoid person. And
wow.
it sounds kind of weird. It sounds like, whoa, man.
Yeah, because you're not paranoid now.
No.
Yes, I haven't seen that
No,
side of you.
So the paranoid, and there's varying degrees of paranoia, obviously, but, paranoid means the world's conspiring to hurt or harm you.
All right.
And when you believe that, it does. Mm-hmm. You expect it. You definitely expect bad things. You're looking over your shoulder, and typically you're probably doing things that you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
Maybe you're living in secret. Maybe you have two lives. So now, thankfully so, I'm an inverse paranoid.
Inverse paranoid.
Inverse paranoid. And with, I got that phrase from Jack Canfield, the author of Chicken Soup for the Soul, and he quoted W. Clement Stone. So, an inverse paranoid is obviously the opposite of a paranoid person. You believe the world is conspiring to help you.
Wow.
And whenever you believe that, whenever you have that philosophy of thought, guess what?
It happens.
It happens. And everywhere I go, I've been maintaining this philosophy of thought for quite some time now, for well over a year now, it happens.
When I first met you, you said you was an inverse paranoid, and I said, what in the world is that? And you explained it just like this, and it's true. I've seen things happen to you that I would never thought would have happened.
Yeah.
And I'm just blown away. Even going through, shaving your head,
right?
Moving on from your employer to doing what you want to do with your life.
Right.
That had to be very exciting to go through those changes. I'll tell you what, I know that whenever I was able to leave my job and do what I wanted to do, it was amazing. Well, it's still amazing. I think I quit work in 1994. Mm-hmm. Actually, I quit working and started doing my own thing.
Right.
And it's quite freeing.
Yes, it is.
And also, it's so exciting. It is exciting for me. And exciting to different levels of excitement. Mm-hmm. You have the woo-hoo, going to party excitement. Then you have the excitement of achieving and knowing that you're doing what's right.
Yeah.
And it's a joy that fills up inside of you.
Right.
And no one can...
Fulfillment.
People can't take that from you.
Yes.
When we had our family business, I have a lot of family members, and we had a big business building homes and real estate. And when we dissolved the company, my father said everyone gets the same amount of property. He said some of y'all may be upset that y'all think y'all should get more, but everyone will receive the same dollar amount, although some of y'all are getting more because of y'all participation in the business. Now, I was running a lot of the stuff in the business, and when I read that, I realized how wise he was. And I had gratitude because I recognized his wisdom, because I did receive more than everyone else, because I had to do a lot of things that no one else was required to do.
Right.
And whenever the rubber hit the road a couple of years later with some of the other guys in the business, they weren't prepared because they hadn't done what I did.
Right.
See, so at that time, I felt some excitement because it's like, wow, now I'm seeing what he meant when he wrote this 5 years ago about you got more. And I had gratitude because I did get more. But if I would have had that part of my mind turned off
That's right.
and just been melancholy, been sad, depressed because, I did all the work for those people, I should get more money.
That's right.
Sorry, what I learned, you can't buy.
Yeah.
You cannot go to school for that.
That's right.
So excitement,
right.
I was excited to have that realization.
Yes.
And that built me up on the inside, like, wow, this is what he meant.
Yeah. You took something that potentially could have been a negative, and you looked at it as a positive.
Right.
And really that's what being an inverse paranoid is really trying to see, if you have something that happens to you, it perceivably, let's say it's a bad thing, it could be a bad thing, to try to find the positive in it, like the lesson. The lesson, you either find the lesson or the blessing.
Right.
So, there's something that happened to me recently, and I was like, man, why?
This is what I've been waiting for. I want to hear the story. That's what's the story that goes with this?
Well, I'm not going to get into a whole lot of detail, but I ultimately, I was like, why is this happening? Why is this, taking so long? And then I saw, I was like, okay. So if this would have transpired, I would have had to deal with this problem. And you know what? It was a blessing.
You
And
didn't
it was
want to deal with
also
that problem.
I didn't have that problem, but ultimately, it was also a lesson to trust in this whole process, that the timing that we have is perfect timing in every single thing that we do. It's divinely timed, everything. So if you take up the philosophy of being an inverse paranoid versus being paranoid,
Right.
and if you think, that you're not paranoid, because you can only really live one of two ways. I'll say that again, you can only live one or two ways. You either are paranoid and you believe that there's not enough in the world, or you believe you're an inverse paranoid, you believe in abundance.
Right.
And I choose to believe in abundance.
I believe in abundance.
Because have you ever went outside and ran out of air? Do you think we'll ever run out of water?
I don't think so.
No, there's so many resources here and there's so many opportunities here. If you continue to believe that your life, my life sucks, it's no good. I mean, I'm not achieving what I want to achieve, but I would challenge you that you're looking at this much of the picture.
Right.
You're walking through life
you
with
got
blinders.
Yeah.
That's right. You're walking through life with blinders on, and you need to peel the blinders off. And it may be a little painful to take the blinders off.
Yeah, it usually is.
When you do this is stepping outside your comfort zone. And even though it doesn't feel comfortable to be in here, that's your comfort zone. Whenever you do this, you kind of open yourself up a little bit, but really you open yourself up to more possibilities, more opportunities.
Right.
And that's really, what I want to drive home is that, consider where you are in life. Consider where you are, where you've come from, how far you've gone. Because for me, being a little kid who didn't speak, now to being someone who is speaking to several hundred to several thousand people, it's pretty amazing.
Yes, it is.
It really is. And I don't say that to brag or impress you, but to impress upon you that it's really, really crucial to get this right, to get your mindset right. Because life, if you allow it to, it will beat you down.
Oh, real quick too.
It'll beat you up. So get your mindset right. And you can only do that through, really, really looking at the truth of what you have, and not just being focused in these, having your blinders on.
Wow. So that ties back to being excited.
Yes, it's all about being excited because, I have this awareness now that really, everything happens for a reason, and everything, every event, every sequence event is very connected. So I'm always expecting great things to happen. It's just, it's not even like I don't wake up in the morning and say, oh, well, what great things are going to happen today? No, I just know great things will happen.